are listening to.
Boy, good morning. Welcome
Good
to the
morning.
Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. This is Kiana.
And I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
We're brought to you by
You're brought to you by the New Image Project, brought to you by the Community Development and Training Center.
AKA.
See that?
Because we redefined it.
And we want to thank you for helping us
to redefine
what's cool.
Because
and
smart.
It's the new gangster.
Baby.
And if you don't know,
now you know.
And you're tuned in. I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
We already said that.
Oh.
It's Freestyle Friday, y'all. So you know how this go.
And the coffee ain't kicked in. When the coffee kick in, it's over. So what's on your Freestyle Friday, man?
Freestyle Friday, man. I'm ready for the weekend. You know, I'm going over to Tampa to the Grand Hyatt. It's gonna be a meet and greet at the Grand Hyatt with Stanley Campbell.
Okay.
So everybody's welcome to come out from like 12 to 2.
Oh, so we and we do have a guest coming in today.
Yeah.
Who's
so
the guest?
Stanley Campbell. He's running for U.S. Senate.
So that's the same event you're going to on Saturday as well, huh?
Yeah, and Saturday as well. And anybody looking to come out and volunteer, reach out to me.
Okay, running for Senate.
Yeah, and that is Rick Scott's seat.
Okay, and we inviting
all candidates.
All candidates, former Governor Rick Scott, Senator Rick Scott.
Everybody's welcome.
Come talk to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club because we got Stanley Campbell finna be here.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and so this weekend also is a FAMU alumni event that's going on. It's kicked off yesterday.
Mm-hmm,
so if you are a rattler and you don't know what's going on in Tampa, shame on you.
I'm a rattler by spirit. Child Park rattler.
Oh,
big shouts out to the Child's Park Rattlers and the whole team. If y'all got it, support a great organization. But back to this weekend.
So we're gonna do that. We're also gonna hit some salons and barbershops.
Yeah, that's a big thing. When you told me that, I really like that whole movement of really counting us in and not counting us. I like that type of process that y'all doing. So good work.
What I'm going to say with this candidate, what I really like about him, he really does the work.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. I typically, when I'm working with somebody, it's somebody that I definitely believe in, and he really does the work. And so, be ready. He's hands on. He wants to hear what you got to say. He has some great advice. Definitely some great solutions.
All right, well, we give him the 8 o'clock. Y'all stick and stay. We're gonna have Stanley Campbell for U.S. Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's up. Last night, speaking of candidates, I attended the Tiger Bay candidate mixer.
Okay.
Bunch of candidates, a bunch of judges. Big shouts out to Dan running for District 7. Who else was there? It was a lot of candidates there. A couple judges. If people don't know, a lot of our judges here in Pinellas County are also on the ballot as well. So you can vote for judges as well.
It is important to vote for your judges.
I think it's a one of those things that we miss often. We don't look at the ballot all the way thoroughly, and we don't know enough about the judges. So what we're gonna do, I spoke to a couple of the candidates, and we're gonna make an invite. We're gonna make an invite to talk to the candidates and see what they're gonna do for us in this community. A lot of people had a lot of questions asking us who we got and who we like and what we like.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all stick and stay and join. We're gonna talk about the candidates. We're gonna talk about what they got going on. So y'all stick and stay. It's gonna be an election year to remember.
It is gonna be, and so because people always say like voting doesn't have nothing to do with me. I hear that more than not.
Okay.
Right. I also hear people, my vote don't count.
Okay.
If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't be trying to convince you not to vote. 1.
They wouldn't suppress your vote.
2.
If your vote didn't count.
Right. So
the reason your vote counts and what makes and really now what makes, not only, the black community vote, because people don't know this.
Mhm.
The black woman and the black woman vote has been holding up the Democratic Party for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't know the backbone of the Democratic Party is y'all. It's the black woman and the power of the black woman vote. And I just want to say, keep up the good work, y'all.
Thank you. And we pulling everybody along with us. How about that?
Yes. And not to leave out the fellas, the most powerful swing vote of this election is going to be the black man and the returning citizen vote. What I mean by the black man and the returning citizen vote, the black men who had felons or caught charges and had their rights restored is like the ultimate swing vote. Because a lot of these elections right now are kind of split 50-50. If you look at the polls, Trump 34, Biden 33.
And you know what? It is.
It's split.
It's split.
It's split down
because
the
this is
middle.
what Trump is really good at is
Catching cases?
that, because he catching them.
34 counts. And we're going to talk about former President Trump he called his charges. He went to trial. He took that issue to trial. Take that issue to trial. Take that shit to trial.
Yeah.
He took it to trial and lost. 34 counts. I want to know what you think. If you're watching, good, bad, or indifferent, what do you think about former President Trump on this Freestyle Friday? I'm freestyling, y'all. Pay attention.
Well, you want me to tell you what I really think is they playing in our face?
Go for it.
What I will say that I like about Trump is that he used everything.
Trump say Mother Teresa couldn't beat this charge.
He used everything.
It's rigged. Mother Teresa couldn't. When he said Mother Teresa couldn't beat this charge.
Mm-hmm. He's using everything to promote himself. Like, he'll switch it out so quick. Like,
I'm glad you said it. Now, what in the Sam Hill is that?
Mind your business.
I will. So, I done forgot everything.
No, you said we talking about Trump.
Yes. And his website crashed last night after the verdict because so many people are donating to his campaign.
That's all this was. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all stop playing in our face. Like,
it was a fundraiser?
Yes, it was.
I wish I can use a trial date to fundraise for my campaign.
No. But this
is the ultimate white privilege.
This is.
I want to hear somebody tell me something about this and what y'all think. Because how in Sam Hill do a candidate running for president, he caught 34 charges. That was just, when I heard 34, he might only get probation.
He might. And then he has other charge coming up, right?
He'll get probation for that too.
Oh, because ain't none of these fellas?
All of them, this was the felony. I think the rest of them is like high crimes and misdemeanors.
That's funny.
But listen, I ain't gonna lie though. I was surprised that he got convicted guilty.
I was really, so to be honest, I was surprised that he got
convicted guilty.
But I would say this to his team is that his team really kind of didn't spin it right, because he kept on saying no crime was done. He could have just said it was, but I didn't do it. How do you know such and such ain't do it? Like, you keep on saying, like...
Oh, I get what you're saying. It was the wrong defense.
Yeah, it was really the wrong... You kept on saying nothing was done.
But we know it was done.
But we know it was done. You should have just said...
It was done, but it wasn't me.
Right. How can you prove it's me? This man is a liar. Like,
and this kid is not my son.
Right. They didn't have any real hard evidence that the money came.
They had cooperation. So what the judge...
But what I'm saying is...
The judge told them they cannot convict him on... the guy that was lying, his statements alone. The judge said, "Hey, if you won't listen to Michael Cohen alone, you cannot. You cannot find him guilty if you just listen to him alone." So They gave him they gave the jury the instructions that the information had to be corroborated.
But these are
Michael.
people, but you gotta look, is that you can give people whatever. That doesn't mean that they're gonna follow.
But some of them people was Trump supporters though. They helped pick that jury.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go to appeal, and we'll bring you more as it happens. I want to know what y'all think. Call in 727-637-2416. That's 727-637-2416. And we're talking about the Trump conviction.
Yeah. I mean, because I was really shocked. I heard a lot of people was happy about this, right?
I don't know. I ain't gonna say happy was my feeling.
Some people like happy, but again, I just feel like they're playing in our face.
I really like that.
Like that's my new thing for this year, is that people like just playing in our face and just think they can do whatever and we supposed to fall for it. But even with Trump, what he's doing is now he's going to use this conviction. I can't even speak this morning. Say it for me. Conviction. I can't even talk this morning. This conviction to then target other people who has been convicted. We've already seen him start with the mug shots, trying to say that he can relate to people who has been charged.
You can't.
I was just saying, but he's using it. He's gonna say like, "I've been targeted."
He got street cred now.
Yeah, I've been targeted. I know how you feel.
Listen,
and some of the stuff that he's saying is not that, like, when you listen to it, like, okay, we need to change the Constitution. We need to come up, bust up the Constitution, change the Constitution. When you think about it, that ain't necessarily a bad thing. But do we want Trump to do it?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't think we need to change the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
But
you don't think there's no? You don't think there should be any changes in the Constitution?
I mean, they got the process to do that.
But just because they have the process to do it, are they doing it?
I mean,
to benefit other people, to benefit everybody as a whole.
So they do say that this American thing is an experiment, right? And they getting it right as they go. And I think if we change it, if we have a radical change right now, I think it'll throw everything off. I think, and I feel that's what they want. They talk about it. They want to reset, and I think that's what all.
Do they want to reset, or they don't want to start? Like,
no, they want to start.
They just want to start over. They don't want to like create a new system. They just want to take the power back that they feel that they're losing.
I agree. I mean, I think what it is, once you have a stronghold over the world, over people, and then you see yourself losing it, of course you're gonna fight like heck to keep it. You get what I'm saying? And you're gonna do. They writing laws, man. They legislate. I told somebody, I was like, y'all got you in your feelings, and you don't like DeSantis, you don't like Trump, you don't like all these Republicans, and you're not legislating. Where is your legislation? Where is it? Because these people are passing laws that their constituency loves. Their people love them right now.
Right.
They did the Roe versus Wade thing. They did the don't say gay. They did the don't make my children feel bad with this racism and history stuff. These people are what you call legislating. They are writing laws and passing laws that their constituency wants. And I think that
Do you think all of them want them? Because some of them don't.
No, these people, this is what they've been asking for. They've been asking for Roe versus Wade to be overturned since Ronald Reagan. They've been asking for ways to get out of CRT and what they call it, critical race theory and all that mess. I know they're requesting this. This is a request from their constituency. And what they're doing is they're getting elected and they're going in and doing it. And that to me is not a bad thing. It's just I wish the side that say they represent me would go in and legislate and do more than talk about this and pound their fists and man, y'all talk that junk about them Republicans. them people are passing legislation all over America, and they're changing the world.
And what you're showing is what patience, consistency, and organizing look like.
Yep. And legislating. You gotta use the word.
I'm not use it.
Legislating. That means writing laws, bills, ordinance, putting policies and practices in order, not just talking about, oh, I won't change, oh, I'm for this, and oh, I'm this. No, they wrote out a legislative agenda, and they are executing all over America. Every state, not every state, but several different states.
Right.
Because this abortion ban that they came up with, that came from Texas first. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Texas got it, and they passed it, and then they say, hey, Florida, y'all want to look at this abortion legislation that we doing over here?
Right.
Oh, yeah, get here.
Yeah.
And they're legislating, and them Bible thumpers, the people who love that type of thing, they're like, yes, finally we got somebody that's helping us. And that's, if you look at what them people saying, that's what they're saying.
This is just so crazy when you think about it. But, you know, I mean, when you look at it, it's because, you know, this is going to be a big topic coming up, women's rights.
Yep. History, the erasing of history books, not what they call it, book bans.
Which is crazy. So again, rights, what happens is, and y'all think that like people be lying when they say history repeats itself.
Yeah, they doing it again.
You know, because they've had this before when they had banned books.
Listen, and if I'm lying to you, I'm flying to you. People don't believe in systematic racism, and they have a big conversation about what ain't and what it is. But right now, their systematic racism is in a full demonstration. And if you can't see it, it's because you don't want to see it. It's in full display. They're doing it out in the open. It ain't being hidden. It ain't covert. It's overt.
Right.
They putting it.
Oh yeah, they're like right in front of your face, and that's why I see what I'm saying. Like, and this is gonna be my coin phrase.
Stop playing our face.
Yeah, because people just keep on playing in our face and feel like they can do whatever, and then we're supposed to accept it. These are like really abusive relationships.
But what it is, it's bad because you keep coming back and it's horrible.
It's really abuse, and you know what? You hope like in an abusive relationship it gets better, but this is getting worse.
But this is what I'm saying, and I agree. And one of the things I'm saying is because one side is legislating
and the other side is just talking.
And you know the side that just doing all the talking right now is really they really hanging us out to dry, because like on the other end we're depending on these people to get stuff in for us.
And this is why I'm going to tell you, this is why it's so important that you get out and vote so that you can get like-minded people in these seats, in these offices.
You got to support them while they're in there so they can legislate. Because what happened is we elect them, we get them in there, and then there's nothing done after that. They don't have the support of their constituency.
They don't have the support of their party because it's not enough of them.
They don't got the support of their colleagues because they ain't got enough money coming in. Nobody's supporting Trump because Trump is raising money.
He raised a lot of money.
People are behind him. So guess what they saying? Dang, I ain't going against that. He raising more money than everybody.
And you want me? And like I think the poll said like 68% of the people said even if he was convicted, this does not change their vote.
So this is my question. Now that Trump is convicted, 34 counts of felonies, do we support a second chance for Trump? Like I'm an advocate for second chance.
I'm an advocate of second chances too.
And I want people to have their rights back.
But is this the second chance for Trump? Because Trump did, like, he going to court. Like, is this the second chance for him?
If he just, I'm just saying this. Let's think this out. Let's play it out.
That's what I'm saying.
If he wanted a second chance, right, and he wanted to run for office, would we judge him because he has felonies? I'm gonna say no. I would try to find some other things to judge him on.
I will tell you this, if you know anything about politics, listen.
He rewriting the book though.
But politics, like, this is unfortunate. Once you accept what you did, politics is like the only thing that you can kind of go
Like
into.
Marion Barry.
You see, like a lot of
That's my
politicians.
mayor. I was in DC and it was a lady saying, and we talking about Marion Barry and what that DC or Maryland or something.
Okay, wherever.
That's my mayor. She still said that.
There you go. And so in politics is where people with backgrounds and done some stuff still get elected and get jobs. You know what I mean? They don't do, if you look at even when you go the higher up in there, they don't do drug tests, but somebody at McDonald's does.
But they listen, okay, and so there, I want to talk about that because we talked about blackballing the vendors and stuff. But let's talk about we'll talk about that later.
No, we can talk about that. Go ahead.
The continuation, the blackballing, the systematic blackballing of our women. And this is why I came up with this, right? This is what made me think about this.
Okay.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong. The system elevated the black woman into higher positions in a lot of work. Women be doing a lot of work. Black women are leading in a lot of categories. But their pay. Black women are severely underpaid for their positions. So there is a wealth and pay gap that's only getting bigger. So the more successful, the more college grads, and I said, this is what they're doing. They're saddling our people with all this debt and then underpaying them when they get the job.
Well, you know what? This is the story of the black woman, right? Is that we overperform.
Get underpaid.
We get unappreciated. We get underpaid by everybody. Even when you listen to like the black man, they put a lot of extra stuff on black women and then tell us that we're hard to work with. You know, you do the same thing in the job field, and we overdo to say, just to prove that we're worthy of this job, this man, this relationship, to be in here, to still be put in a situation where we're behind.
Yep.
And this is the system, and this is how it's set up.
That's how it's set up.
And if you look, there's more black women that's getting educated, college degrees than anybody else.
Oh, I want to say this,
but yet we're still underpaid. Like they used to be able to say black men who they say are not educated, still get paid more.
So look, I'm finna bring this all the way home.
Go ahead.
I'm finna bring this all the way home. So I looked at, I grew up.
It's Freestyle Friday.
I grew up in South St. Pete. And I started getting into community organizing, and I noticed that a lot of the community positions, don't get me wrong, we had elected men, but a lot of the power positions in St. Pete still to this day are black women.
Yeah, we get it done.
Like right now, I'm talking about in this city right now. Just think about all the black women that are in major power positions. And if you look at the St. Petersburg, Pinellas County wealth gap, is getting bigger.
Yes.
So as black women get more positions and better pay, right? It still don't fix the gap.
No.
You get what I'm saying? So they can run this, they can be the president of this, they can be the director of this, and it still don't put a dent in the systematic racism. Because really that's the breadwinner of the family right now. Statistically, that's who getting it done, right? That's who getting the bread. But they say no, it's not. They say they doing the work, but they're being underpaid for the work they're doing.
Right.
Now, ain't that saying?
It is. I mean, you got to do better by the black woman.
That's
everybody.
Right. That's right. We're doing it for the black woman.
We got to know. We're going to do all better. Jokes aside. Like,
I ain't joking. You thought I was joking.
No, I'm
dead
behind, serious about this.
Joking behind. I'm not joking.
Good.
I was going to do in this day in history.
Well, what's this day in history? Do you have one for real?
Yeah, I got this day in history.
Okay, go ahead.
This day in history. This is a somber and sad occasion. This day in Black history, the Tulsa Race Massacre. On May 31st, 1921, the nation witnessed a race massacre and acts of They say dispossession. What is that? Against black residents in segregated. What is dispossession?
Look it up. Google it.
Against black residents in the segregated and thriving Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And to give y'all a little more, people don't know. Yes, thank you. They deprived us of land and property.
We still waiting on our land now.
Listen, and these people scared to say reparations. And all these people done got reparations. All these, there's legal and historical precedents for reparations being paid to several different citizens. Everybody from the Asians, you even had some
the indigenous people.
Indigenous. You had slave owners that were paid reparations for the freed slaves.
Yeah.
And then they put those same slaves into work camps and prison labor and sharecropping and all the BS they did. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
You off your soapbox? So let's get on another soapbox really quick, because I know this is probably going to be one of those topics that.
Let's go.
So we saw the mayor's post
about
the Rays Stadium.
Okay, the 5 new designs that have just came out.
Yes, they look amazing.
Like the last ones. So with me being an artist, I already know artist renderings are not contractual obligations.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a visionary phase. They're just showing what they look like. So what's being reported is that this new stadium will be the most intimate stadium in the MLB. And I told somebody when they say intimate, they mean small. So if you got an intimate cottage on 9th Street in MLK, you might be in a 1-bedroom apartment or efficiency. So they say it's going to be a intimate 30,000 attending stadium.
Yeah.
And it may help them sell out some tickets because now they got 34,000 seats. So I don't understand why would they knock down a bigger stadium to make a smaller stadium? I don't understand that. To make less seats, but you're going to make more money? You're going to drive more revenue? Well, we ain't getting any ticket money anyway.
No. So since you talk about that, I mean, honestly, they do make more money because they don't have to give us any percentage of the sales.
Oh, that's how they going to make more money?
I'm just thinking, like, if you're going to go down.
No, how we going to make more money as a city?
I don't know how we going to.
No,
tourism.
Taxes. No.
Tourism. The tourism.
They say tourism, but listen, it's taxes. So that's what I was just talking to somebody on the phone. And I was like, listen, this plan is a tax pyramid scheme, right? Taxpayers paid for the land and eminent domain, and they dispossessed black people of their land here in St. Pete,
right,
through eminent domain and other means, codes compliance and other means,
right.
And the taxpayers bought a whole bunch of land and took a whole bunch of land. Now the taxpayers is gonna transfer the ownership of that land to another entity before they pay for it. It's going to be a contractual agreement, and we're not going to get the profit that we're supposed to get from it because we're going to have more taxes. We're going to tax more people. So it's like a tax here, then we're going to give it to them for free. But the only reason we're going to give it to them is because we're going to get more taxes.
Yeah.
It's going to drive up taxes, and we're going to get more taxes.
Which I'm just...
Do we get any relief? Is there any elected officials, city council, administration, or staff that want to give relief to the taxpayers? Can we ask for relief? Can we ask for not to pay so much more taxes and be taxed?
Because you really can't afford to live in St. Pete, right?
Yeah.
And then, I think this stadium deal will be a good way to be able to give us some relief, right? If it's done properly.
If you get the revenue, you have to
get the revenue. And because we're looking at also, on the ballot this year is going to be about increasing taxes
for teachers,
for homeowners to pay teachers. Right. And I think it's like a $200 to $400 increase per year on homeowners here, the residents here in Pinellas County, St. Pete, to help pay for teachers. the Rays Stadium is a good way to be able to, this project is such a good way to be able to put something in there where we, the taxpayers, don't have to increase our taxes. There's so much to be done in this deal that can benefit the community itself.
But the agreement don't say that. There's nowhere in the agreement where it says we'll use money and the money that's used will lessen taxes for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even in the projections. The actual projections are like a 7% increase in growth. They're looking for the growth. So my thing was, well, what if we don't grow at 7%? What if the growth is modest at a 4% growth for 5 years, 10 years? How does that impact the development? How does that impact our financial obligations to the development?
Yeah.
Because all these rosy pictures and wishful thinking and good faith agreements are not what's gonna get us to where we want to go. We're gonna be hoping that something happen. It's a pie in the sky thing.
And the hope don't get you nowhere when it comes to,
but no,
not when it comes to contracts.
Not contracts.
Hope and
contracts don't go together.
They don't go together, unfortunately.
Ain't no hope in contracts.
No, because once you sign this contract, it's a legal document, and this is the only thing that's required. I'm going to say this, the only thing that's required.
The minimum requirement.
For these people to do it. So
let me say this.
Go ahead.
That there's going to be a meeting coming up called the COW, Committee of the Whole. They're going to be talking about the stadium development June 12th. And as Committee of the Whole, you can come in and you can only watch. You cannot speak at the Committee of the Whole, so you have to write your council member. Tell them what you feel about the deal. Tell them if you like it, you love it, you hate it. Let them know how you feel about it. Let them know. Really, you can write the mayor too. You can write the staff.
Now they just had a COW.
Yeah, Committee of the Whole.
Right. They just had a COW, and in this COW,
that was the development. So it's two contracts or two like thingy things they're doing at the same time. One is the development, 60 whatever acres.
Right.
And the other one is the stadium.
Yeah. So now because we're like mushing it all together, and they're kind of separating it.
Yes. They're mushing it together too.
Yeah, but
so you get what I'm saying?
So you know what I'm saying? They're playing in our face. Yeah. That's my coin phrase for they're playing in our face. And let me tell you this. Because I know a lot of people listen to us, and the thing is I love this city.
You do.
I absolutely love this city. I love the people that I endorse. I knocked on doors. I gave out pamphlets. I talked to other people to tell them.
You supported candidates. You did.
I'm a huge supporter of the city, and I want the city to thrive. So when we're talking about this, and I always say, when the relationship is good, we praise it. When it's bad, we call it out. Because there's things that need to be fixed in here. And as of right now, there's things that need to be fixed in our city. There was a post that was made, and as much as I love our mayor, the people here in the city was really upset with it, reading the comments on it.
What post?
About the Rays and show.
But I think all these posts about the redevelopment.
The redevelopment. And everybody.
Posts.
And so when your people are not happy, we all need to listen, because these are the people that keeps everybody in their seats, keep them employed.
I hear you.
You know, and so
the voters.
All day, every day.
Well, really the voters and the taxpayers, because I'm going to say this. These posts are becoming sounding boards because a lot of people feel they're not being heard. Because if you notice, it hasn't been like this. The tide is turning.
Right, because listen, at the beginning, I was like, raise hands, let's go.
You was.
I was. But then as I educated myself and started learning things about it, I'm not finding anything good on it, unfortunately. And I hate to say that.
Why would you hate to say that?
No,
though?
I'm just saying because I wanted this to be a good deal. Like I want us to have a great stadium. I want us to have the revenue. And it's really sad when you're looking at we're going from ownership to renters, as you would say, right?
Yes. We're going from we went from owning the gas plant
to now renting.
Now they're gonna bring you back. And you may be able to rent. Maybe it's a possibility. We can't promise nothing.
So again, I would say this: I'm not mad at the Rays and Hines when they submitted it because that's what they were supposed to do. When you're in negotiation, you're supposed to ask for everything, but then somebody else is supposed to counter and ask for everything as well.
I wanted to see those
and
notes.
then now we come in and we negotiate where it's fair for both parties. And St. Pete, just remember that we live in paradise. Everybody is moving here. So believe me, we are not lacking anything. People will still come.
And I want to say this because I think when I seen the renderings, so I've seen several renderings.
Mm-hmm.
This, I don't know if I might be wrong. Somebody let me know. This is maybe the third or fourth set of renderings.
And it looks amazing.
But this is the thing that pauses me.
Mm-hmm.
The intimacy, the new intimacy, and the.
But those are key words, so people know how to paint pictures to make you feel comfortable.
I know that's the problem because why we're not moving towards expansive. Why are we moving to
especially
intimate?
We're telling
why you but you understand what I'm saying? We finna spend billions of dollars to downsize. It feels like the pier. Remember the pier? The pier had 4 floors.
Yes, and people sit
And I ain't saying ain't nothing nice about the pier right now, but we paid a lot of money to downsize.
We did.
And if anybody really real about it, you just gotta say it.
You know,
we paid a lot of money to downsize not only the pier approach, but the pier itself.
Can I say this? I miss Chow Chow Coconut.
Listen, I missed the whole
so
thing.
You know what? We're gonna have to take a hard stop, right? It is 8:00. We have bills to be paid. So tag a friend, tell a friend. We have a guest coming in. Stanley Campbell will be joining us after the 8:00 hour, 7 minutes after the hour. Tag a friend, tell a friend. If y'all want to send more stars, send them. We appreciate that as well. And we'll be back. And if you don't know, we're brought to you by the New Image Project, better known as
See, Dad,
because we are redefining
what's cool
because smart
is the new gangster.
baby.
And if you don't know,
now you know.
now you know.
So when we left on the first hour, we were talking about Trump.
Yep.
We talked about Trump.
The convictions.
Right, and them playing in our face. Then we talked about the mayor.
Yep. The concept drawings of the new stadium for the Rays.
Yes.
And the post that was made. I was just watching. It is like 3 other posts. So
it's a lot of posts. So
I gotta go
right. And so we're talking about it because it got so much interaction once he did it, and the voters, the people of the city is not happy about it. We talk about the Rays Hines deal quite often here because this is a hot topic here in our city, and we really want it to be done right. We're also going to have a panel set up.
Yes, June 11th.
We're inviting everybody
at the Sunshine Center. We were going to have the first community town hall on the gas plant historic redevelopment deal. We're inviting everybody out, whether you're for it or against it.
And we really want people that is for it, to be honest. We've had the rate. No, I'm going to say that. Let me tell you what I'm going to say. This is Kiana.
Why you going to want people?
I want everybody. People. We do want everybody, but they're going to come out. But we usually, even when we had the Rays come in, because I really want to find something good on the deal, because we keep asking. I want somebody to explain the things that's not been explained to us. So this is a time, and again, this is going to be the non-judgment zone.
So I invited the Rays. So I reached out to the Rays. I invited the Rays. I invited No Home Runs. We've done our best to have a person speak from almost every aspect, environmental,
right. And I talked to somebody on the mayor's staff to see if we can get somebody out over there.
Tell them to pull up.
Yeah, we want.
This is actually the day before the cow. Right. So the day before the committee of the whole to discuss the stadium, we're going to have a community conversation the day before, and then take what we got and present it and send it to our elected officials. I'll put the event in the comments of the chat. So if y'all want to register, there's a small survey. Take the survey, and we're going to get the results to our elected officials. We're going to present it to the mayor. We're going to present it to city council members. Whatever you may feel, because I don't want to tell you not to like it, because I feel a certain way about it. Please. You may love it, and tell me why you love it. Just like Kiana said, we want to know. But we have a special guest.
Yes, we do. And we have Stanley Campbell running for U.S. Senate.
Okay, what Senate seat?
Jail. Jail behind the camera. You hear, she's always quiet. So he's actually running against Rick Scott. Okay. Yes. And then I'm gonna let him take it from here because I think he can do it better than I can.
Well, good morning. I am so glad to be here with you guys today. Stanley Campbell. I'm running for the United States Senate. And so for anybody who doesn't understand what district that is, it is the entire state of Florida. From Pensacola to Jacksonville, from the northern part of the state all the way down to Key West. And we're going to get a few dolphins in the middle of that.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So, yes, we're here today, and I'm so glad to be here. I'm actually at the Florida A&M University because I am a Rattler. I've always been a Rattler and going to be a Rattler when I'm gone.
That's right.
We have the National Alumni Association, and I'm here for this weekend. I'm getting an award for a lifetime achievement.
Yes, on Saturday.
On Saturday, yes,
okay,
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know what that means.
Then you've been putting in the work.
I've been putting in the work. I've been putting in the work. Bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So tell us a little about the work you've been doing. Tell us about what you been doing. What brought you to running for the seat?
So I can tell you, I'm a former military person. I left Florida A&M University, I went to work as a geophysicist with Amoco out of New Orleans. And then that got me wanting to be an astronaut and go into space and all. And at that time, most of the space pilots were were Navy pilots, and so
Wow.
I then joined the Navy to see the world, and they sent me right back to Pensacola, Florida.
See you right back home.
Sent me right back home.
What you do?
And so I did my flight school in Pensacola and then my advance in Texas, and then I went on to a military career, much unlike our our current senator. He did 23 months. I did 8 years, and then
It's 23 months of full term.
well, 23 months is not a full term.
Oh,
We don't have a 23-month contract,
I didn't think so.
but we do have contracts that will let you out for whatever reason, and and he was able to get in and get out. But that being said, about 4 years ago, my brother calls me up and he says, "Look, we got a problem," and I asked him what the problem was. And down in South Florida, where he lives, he said we have 4.5% vaccination rate in Opelika, which is much like this area here, and we have 3.5 miles away we have 84% vaccination rate.
Wow.
And if you go to the hospital, you need a Twitter account. And a lot of us don't have Twitter accounts.
Are you for real?
And believe me, so if you were going to get a vaccination, you got to get in line at the stadium. The stadium. So y'all talk about the stadium. You got to get in line at the stadium. And so I looked at it. I'm vaccinating people all over the country. I have a national healthcare system, probably the largest network in the country, because I message into every point of sale pharmacy with 309 million Americans in that system. So I come down and figure I'm going to help. And we did. We actually helped a lot. And we stimulated the Black neighborhood with pharmacists and doctors and nurses to be able to have them get the vaccine themselves. And then when that kicked in, then obviously the rest of the systems then kicked in, and then you could then get your vaccines from any pharmacy. But the governor had given, before that, the governor gave 21% of the vaccines to Publix. So now think about our neighborhoods. Think about where we live.
It ain't always no Publix in our neighborhood.
There's no Publix on 62nd Street and 11th Avenue, and there's not any Publix in most of our neighborhoods.
That's right, though.
And so our movement moved the government, moved the governor, and as irresponsible as he might have been, we wound up pivoting to get vaccines in our neighborhoods.
I'm checking out some of your platform and your framework. I see a lot that I like. But tell me what's the most important for you.
So I can tell you the things that's important for me is what's important for us. I could not sit back and look at yelling at the TV any longer. I'm a business person. I'm not a politician. I talked about my healthcare network, but I also, I'm Jamaican too, so I got a little day job and a little night job.
Yeah.
So I call my night job is we own, my wife and I, we own 3 golf courses, 3 PGA golf courses. 2 of them are in Florida. One of them we just bought in Gainesville, and the other one is in Stewart area.
Wow, she told me something about that, but I ain't hear it all the way. 3 PGA golf tours.
So that means I'd be like,
right.
No, I did. I heard you, but it just ain't, the gravity ain't hit me.
So all that says is that I'm at a place in my life that when I look at things, I can do more than just talk to the TV.
Yeah.
And so when I looked at what the senator was doing with Social Security, trying to retire Social Security, I think about my mother and all the other mothers throughout the state of Florida. What would they do without their Social Security?
Yeah.
And then this is the same guy who is trying to move Medicare and Medicaid to a fee for service. Now, the difference in Obamacare and what we had before is when you pay for that fee, if you get well or not, it don't matter.
It's like pay to play.
Obamacare is pay for performance,
Yeah.
meaning if they give you the medicine or if they treat you and you don't get well, then
They
the
gotta keep
next one
treating,
is
yeah.
on them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that's the difference.
And they can make them get you right instead of.
And that's
Yeah.
how the system that he's trying to put us backwards to is the system that he stole all that money from.
Wow.
So when we look at healthcare, we look at those services, and we look at the bottom for the richest country in the world, for which our people will not go below. That's the thing that I'm fighting for, because I know if we got a Trump president and when Rick Scott went back into office, that's what we have to face.
Yeah.
And and I mean, there's many of us that cannot afford that. So that becomes the issue. But I was listening to you guys before, y'all carrying on over here, talking about the stadium. What I'm really in here to do is to make sure that we understand that we are in the richest country in the world, that we do have a lot to look forward to. But we can't get there if the governor doesn't take the money. And when he was a governor, he
turned
wouldn't
down
take
the light rail.
$2 billion.
And then I think California took it, or somebody took it.
Utah took the money, and they're about to get to California with that same rail. and here we sitting here with we stuck in traffic. I'm driving over here, and they're widening the road.
Yeah.
How much wider? There ain't gonna be no more water out there if they widen it, so much that we can't get mass rail.
No.
We're in a state that is the third largest economy. Now just think about this for a minute.
Yeah, I read that. You put it right here on your thing.
We're bigger than Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana combined. We should be acting that way.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I am in this to win it. I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and I'm going to beat Rick Scott like he stole something, because he did.
$1.6 billion, if you want to be exact.
That was what he had to pay. Right. That was like 10% of what he probably got.
So is there primaries? Like how does the the election cycle work for this one?
So what we've got to do right now is we got to get out to work. We got to get out to vote. We got to get people excited about this, because I'm telling you, we've had Obama, we had Gillum, we had a couple of wins, and we had a couple of close. And I'm telling you, this guy won the election by 10,000 votes. And I've already turned the military, because he didn't vote twice for the budget, which means in the military, we have to work. And if we don't get a budget, we don't get paid. And he basically did not say one word when Tommy Tuberville stopped those promotions. So with me, that $2 billion would have been 10,000 jobs. Those jobs hit our communities, because you going everything from engineering to got a shovel in your hand. And we have we have people in every phase of that operation. But that's just before the buildings come up and the hotels come up and the housing come up, and all of that we missed. But then when your idea is to go back and invest yourself, your own money, to make your $250 million bonus when you leave into $1 billion, then that's what he did. And so I'm telling you, for me, it is about the people. When I heard y'all talking about the city and the community and what is really in the contracts, as opposed to just giving the pie in the sky stuff, read the contracts, get the information in. But you got to have that as your first start. That's what a good private-public partnership means. And then when you can do that, then everybody wins. And that's what we are. We're about winning. I'm telling you, I've had a very good, successful business career. And I'm telling you, we can win in Florida. We can win in Florida.
We can, because it's a lot of things. I know, like the home ownership is big here in Florida, and the American dream is leaving because it's so expensive here. Even the insurance for housing. And so it's out of control. And I know you have some ideas on that.
Absolutely. So we've got a government, both from the previous governor, who is our current senator, and the current governor. They have not done a thing to reduce the insurance bills.
Yeah.
So I can tell you our insurances are the worst in the nation. We have the highest insurance costs in the nation. But um, Alabama is a close second. Mississippi's a close second. Louisiana is a close second. Texas is a close second. So what that means is that we have a shared responsibility. Because if a hurricane comes up our coast over here, then it just a little bit of trajectory is going to hit Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, or Texas. And so what we have in that shared responsibility is we have a reason to work together with them.
Oh, yeah, and get a bulk package or get something.
There's a thing called a critical infrastructure protection. I worked on that as an Intel person. And in critical infrastructure, it's things like the power grid. That's a part we got to do that. We all have to be working on that. So if we now make insurance a part of the national critical infrastructure, what winds up happening is FEMA's going to come in and do their thing anyway.
Yep.
HHS going to come in and do their thing anyway. So if we put that as a part of our national critical infrastructure, that means the first check is not the insurance company. The first check comes there. And if we now are sharing that responsibility, when California has a fire, they get it. When Iowa has ice, they get it. And so that becomes a part of how we actually work. We working together. That will reduce the insurance rates in Florida by 29%. That's a lot of money, because just think about it. I'm a military person. If I actually get my house through my GI Bill and I'm working, it don't mean a thing if I can't afford to keep the house, if I can't afford to live in the house, if I can't afford the insurance in the house. So that's what we've got to do. If we can do that, we got to share responsibility with all those states, with California and with Iowa. If we put that place in, now our insurance rates reduce 29%, Texas 28%, 24%, California about 28%, Iowa, theirs going to go down about 12%, but everybody gets a reduction because we now have that shared responsibility. That's what's important, because if we can't own a house, we can't have the American dream. Because that becomes the first part of our investments, and that's how we pass on generational wealth to our children. And we can't even dream about that. Believe me, we've got work to do.
Oh, yes, definitely. Thank you for that, because some people are paying more for their insurance than their mortgage. And people, that's like that. You can't imagine what that look like. Your mortgage might be $700 to $1,000, but your insurance $2,500.
And it's just making people sell their houses, go back into renting, and no longer own anything.
And if you don't own it, you're not building any equity. If you're not building any equity in this land, and believe me, that goes back to your stadium deal too. Just remember who owns the building after the deal is done. It's just that simple.
Right.
It's about who owns the building after the deal is done.
Yes, because equity. What's equity without ownership? You got to have ownership to have equity.
You got it. You got it. But I can tell you that the insurance bill becomes one. But our deal is about jobs and it's about education. I was here last time. I actually, there's this thing happening, and again, this is what happens when you're not watching. They put the charter school program in as an example. Well, the charter school program, when it comes into our neighborhood, they take off the smartest kids. So our public schools are left with children that need help and development. But instead of getting more money, they get less. The same amount of money, because you can now put your voucher in because your kid ain't in the public school. Now, when that kid wasn't successful in that school, they got the money. Now that kid coming back to the public school. So if if both of y'all got $8,000, and they keep the $8,000 and they send them back over. Now that $8,000 that was for Johnny is now 6,000 because you got Susan who came back over, and you can't let them not come to school.
Yeah, they got to come.
And so what
to,
winds up happening is we're now looking at school closures because we don't have enough people in the school.
Wow.
And then if I got to close your school while I'm giving the same amount of money over here, at least the least you could do is make us work to the same standards. And they're not even doing that.
Oh yeah, the charter schools to a lesser standard.
They or make up their own standard. And so when you got that,
it's no oversight over charter schools.
None
or little or none.
None. They can put the rules in if they want to be a church school, if they want to be an anti-church school, if they put the rules in and they educate the kids.
Wow.
And they get the money. So
that's why all these schools popping up. Everybody got a school.
Everybody, you want the money?
Everybody got a school. But the problem is that if you don't have them work to standards,
yes,
and you're taking them out of the public schools, then that becomes your issue.
And you're taking the money out of the public schools.
Taking the money out of the public schools.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that is one that when you get the church schools and they're doing very good. They're feeding our community. The good thing about them is that they can also teach Black history.
Yep.
Right. So you can't teach Black history
that's
in its full scope in the public school because the fence is going to come get you. But at the end of the day, when we actually can put a common, sensible education system in place, we can do that at the federal level. Because the federal government puts a large percentage of the monies into the school system.
Don't they got federal standards for schools? Ain't there certain
standards? They do, but again, it's states' rights. The
state do got rights.
The state controls that. And for me, what our education does is it prepares us to get jobs and living wages, and that becomes an issue. You cannot have living wages unless you have jobs, and those jobs have to be consistent with the environment. If we make every neighborhood a affluent neighborhood, then who's going to work? Who's working at the hotels? Who's working in those other industries? And so when we now then start challenging every part of that, we have to challenge it both from a federal level, which is where I'm going, and the state level. And I can tell you, my wife is in the Biden administration. She is at HHS. She is a beast. She is the largest fiduciary in the history of the United States government.
HHS, what is that? Homeland Security?
Health and Human Services.
Health and Human Services.
And so Medicare, Medicaid, FDA, CDC, and all the rest of them. 99,000 people report into her. But the key there is when you send the money to the state and the state says, "Oh no, we don't want that," or the two governors say we're not going to do Medicaid expansion. So now you got 300,000 people who are about to come off of Medicaid. 300,000 in the state of Florida.
Wow.
Because he decides that we're not going to do the expansion and I don't need your money. Well, I don't need your money. It's good for you, but those 300,000 people who don't have any insurance.
Not any health care bad.
So therein lies where the problem is.
And then that costs us too, because if they ain't got health care, we still pay for it, don't we?
You still paying that money in. So we are a donor state. We put the money in and we get nothing back. And so that's the leadership.
That's the opposite of what they say they buy.
I'm telling you, that's the leadership we voted for last time.
What is my coin statement?
You stop playing in our face.
Stop playing in our face.
Wow.
Oh, they're playing in our faces. They're coming in our neighborhood. And oh, by the way, they just gonna drive by, ask you to vote, and then they gone. And now think about this now. When is the last time you saw one of those state officials in our neighborhoods? Because all they want to do is come by, they'll find somebody who's got a few pennies, they go into their place, they take that picture, and you don't see them again until it's time to vote again.
You don't see them again, and then when they want you, and then when it's important, they're gonna tell you to come find them.
Oh, believe me, I'm just telling you, you gotta vote your interests. we have to get excited about this election because I'm running for the United States Senate. And when I win, I'm telling you, I will be back because this is home for me. This is home, and I'm coming home.
Yes, I like that. I like that. So I look and I see technology on here. I'm big with the tech. I love the tech. Because I know we don't have a lot of connectivity, especially like in our public spaces. One of the things we advocated for in Child's Park was for the rec center to have high speed Wi-Fi, right? Because the rec center has it, but once you walk out the door, there's no connectivity. And so we like, hey, we're doing what we call Community Tech Day, where we brought out VR headsets, AI. We did the African origins of math. So we did a lot of stuff and was like, hey man, we need better connectivity. We want high speed. We want to see if we can get some files out here. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I actually bid for the Spectrum. The Spectrum is what internet and all the other services. I bid the Spectrum, and the law said 20% of the Spectrum was supposed to go to minority, so black and brown, and rural. So rural farmers, because they know that the next generation of AI means that tractor is not going to have the grandson on there driving it. It's going to be on the internet. And if you don't have that
connectivity,
so therein lies, they have to have their control, because if you get small and medium-sized farmers, then they have to be able to control that, or they just become consumers. But guess who else is just consumers? We are. We don't own any of that spectrum. So I bid the Spectrum. Supposed to be 20%. I was the only black bidder, there was no Spanish bidders, no female bidders, and I bid and the farmers bid. And they rejected both of us and gave that Spectrum to somebody else.
What?
So we then sued them.
I have to say,
I'm in the farmer, so I don't look like a farmer, but I got three farms, called golf courses. Because I'm growing grass every day and I'm putting fertilizer down every day.
Yeah.
But we get out there and we think we're gonna win this. This is straight up. We got this, right? We go all the way to the Supreme Court, and 3 different administrations defended their position to not give us that.
Wow.
So now think about what you're reading about in AI. AI is not evolutionary. That's not like going from a bicycle to a car. AI is revolutionary. That's like going from the bicycle to living on Mars.
Yeah, wow.
And the time frame is going to be compressed.
Fast,
when we got in the first airplane, we now had 100 years. To a 787 from that first, Orville and Wilbur Wright. But now this is talking about compressing that into 5 years. Wow. So now when we go out to the parking lot 5 years from now, the car's going to come to me, not me go to the car.
We're living in the Jetsons.
And the tech stuff that you're talking about taking into our neighborhoods is critical, because if we don't get it now, everything is going to change. And if we don't understand what that change looks like and we're not a part of it, we will be left behind.
I'm with you 10,000%, because if we don't get aboard now, we have a window of opportunity, and a lot of people here. So I give it, a lot of people playing with it, a lot of people trying to figure it out. But like you say, we don't own none of the spectrum, so we already out of the cyber real estate market.
We're consumers.
Yeah,
right.
And think about those farmers. Now the big farmers, they go and invest in the telecom company, and so they now own a part of that company. So when they ready to squeeze you out, they own the internet that your tractor gonna work on, and they squeeze you when they get ready.
They can hold you hostage.
Of course, that's the whole issue. We now are a nation of consumers, a nation, and I'm telling you, I had Reverend Jackson with Operation Push and all them writing in, right? The National Broadcast Association, Black Broadcasters, they ringing in. I literally had to fight 3 administrations and we lost. Wow. And that makes us now in our generation. So I said that a few times, and they gave a few things to a couple of black folks. But at the end of the day, the things that I was trying to do was like put all of our health records in a secure intranet, and that it is as secure as our power grid, as an example.
Mm.
Now that helps us all. That's not just our neighborhood, but that's every
You're
neighborhood.
saving the health records.
Of course. And now that means that we can do telehealth and all the rest of that stuff. They said, no, we ain't doing that, because they want to keep us as consumers.
Right.
That's the problem. We have to be able to get and build our businesses in the communities. We've got to be able to operate in every part of the society. I don't own golf courses because I'm a golfer. I really don't even golf.
What?
I mean, I hit the
Yeah,
ball
but
a
you know
little
what
bit,
yeah.
and believe me, I'm not going to lose at my course, so don't come out there and bet me. But I can tell you,
Home court
when I
advantage.
look at that, when I look at how these industries are set up, so many of them have historically been designed to keep us out. And so that's all I'm about. We are getting into the United States Senate. We're going to beat Rick Scott. That is not going to be a question, because military people are going to vote for us because he didn't support them. People that are on Social Security are going to vote for us because he doesn't believe in that system. People on Medicare, Medicaid, Indian Health Services, DOD programs, they're going to vote for us. We just 2 days ago, we took one of his endorsees from the last election, the Broward County Sheriff's Department.
Wow.
That they represent, well, it's their union. That union represents 18 counties, including Broward County. They supported others, and now they're supporting us. They're supporting us because I asked them to do one thing: look at your own self-interest. And when you look at what is interesting to you, that's how you vote. And they knew that I would be better for them than Rick Scott. And that's why they're supporting us. That is a huge shift, because that organization supported Trump and supported Rick Scott from the past. But now they saw what that got them.
I think I know what organization you're talking about. Is our sheriff a part of that group? The Sheriff of America or something.
Yeah, the Sheriffs of America.
They be calling me.
Yeah, but I can tell you, I'm calling them, because at the end of the day, we need to get them in a consolidated effort.
Yeah.
Because if we work together, see, it's about working together. If we work together in our neighborhoods become safer, because it's community policing. If they did not have community policing, I was like, no, well, I'm not sure I'm with that, because unless you in the community, unless you are part of us, then you it's just us against them, and we can't have that, because we got too many ills in our community that we can fix. But I can tell you, jobs fix them quick.
Yes, get some money and help us all. No, listen, but this one I want to talk about, because we talk about criminal justice
all the time.
See,
believe me.
Listen, I not like how you laid this out. Like, let's
get down to community justice, because I'm gonna tell you, the first thing that came out against me, well, he's very litigious. He's in the court and he had to settle the case. Yeah, I settled the case. I paid them. I wrote them a check, because I was running for the United States Senate and I didn't need that noise behind me. But here's what I didn't do. I didn't have all the privacy stuff. So when you settle a case, you say, well, you don't say nothing and I don't say nothing. And if you say something, then I said, no, I'm not doing that. Because I'm going to talk about the case. Because then I want you to talk. I want you to answer the question. Now you're going to come try to take my company, going to set up a fake account, and now you're going to, we're going to.
So it's like they're saying off the record.
Oh, no, we're going off the record. If what I'm saying is wrong, they can sue me for libel tomorrow. It's all of y'all know. But see, the thing is, just think about this. They got the judge set up. Yep, I said it. The judge was set up. All of them, they would not even let me on the stand, and they said, we don't need to hear that. Now think about how many of us are settling cases that we didn't even do anything.
Yeah, you're right.
But because we caught up in the wrong position at the wrong time,
Mm-hmm.
that then we got to settle. We don't have the
Yeah.
money to get the
Yeah.
lawyer, and the public defender is stacked up to the hill.
It's a better shot just to settle it than to
And
take
they
a
scare
chance.
you in there and just say,
Of
hey, you
course
can't
they
do nothing
do.
else better than this.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the system. We saw justice yesterday.
Oh yeah, with
the Trump thing.
Yeah, the 34 counts.
They gave them every bit of things that none of us would ever have. You talk back to the judge. Don't try that.
But you're right. You're right.
He's gonna go talk about the man's daughter and all the rest of that. You're gonna be in jail with no access to talk about that.
That's why I keep on saying, stop playing in our face. And I'm reading your comments, first of all. Thank y'all for the support. And yes, they saying, let's get together. Let's work together to get Stanley elected. Yes, yes, yes. So this is going to be a community effort. If you want to volunteer, please inbox me. Y'all have my number. It's everywhere. You can inbox the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We're going to be here all weekend. If you want to come out today, from 12 to 2, we'll be at the Grand Hyatt in Tampa. It's going to be a small meet and greet. If you have questions and just want to come out and meet Stanley personally, please come out. If you want to volunteer, we have volunteer opportunities for Saturday and later on today. Inbox me. Let me know we're not turning down anybody. We're going to need people to knock these doors, pull out flyers, talk about this, because there needs to be a change, and the change starts with us.
That's right. No question. We are a powerful, powerful entity in the state of Florida. We represent 30%. The black folks represent 30% of the vote in the state of Florida on the Democratic side. Mm-hmm. That's one out of just about 1 out of every 3 voters, meaning they cannot beat me if we come out to vote.
Yeah.
And believe me, I am not the party person, because half of the things I done said already, the party is like, no, we don't want to hear that. We.
You're a part of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me.
And we ain't party people either. Bro, shout out to the party now.
No. The key is we have to understand how powerful we are. Mm-hmm. They have to know that. And the problem they have with me, I put $1 million of my own money in the campaign, which means that they don't own me. The lady told me, she says, X, and I won't even call her X of us, we put 80% of the money in the Democratic Party. I said, yeah, that's great. And you put 0% of that money into my campaign, so I don't need to hear that. And I'm telling you, it is not about the independence of being able to do this. Mm-hmm. Because we started this conversation, I'm from the hood in Liberty City. The poorest neighborhood at the time in the state and the highest crime rate in the nation. And believe me, if I can make it out of that, and my brothers can make it out of that, my brothers, Luther Campbell, y'all know him, Two Live Crew and all the rest of that.
Shouts out to Lou.
Yeah.
Lou.
But my oldest brother went to the black school and he got a PhD in psychology. My second oldest brother went to the same black school. Don't
like a brain surgeon, one of y'all brothers or something?
No, they wish he talked like he a brain surgeon. But my second oldest brother ran the largest chemical plant in the state of Florida.
Yeah, I heard about y'all, though. I did.
And I'm the third brother, and my fourth brother beat Emerald twice as a chef on Miami Beach, and Luther is the last one. And so the thing that was different, because we were right in the hood, the thing that was different was that we had a 2-parent household. It wasn't perfect all the time, but everybody was getting up and going. And my mother used to say, she had 2 types of men, all boys and a husband, 2 types of men in her house. Those with a job and those who looking. You're not going to sit around there all day.
I like that.
Job looking. Right? That's the only 2 types of men in her house. So you gotta be able to get up and get engaged. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a whole different kind of party, because when we get to Washington, we're going to send serious money back. And it's going to be every place from transportation to infrastructure and education. And these are going to be the things that make the difference in when you're participating with your other state partners or whether you're fighting them. I'm not that guy, but I'm telling you, I know how to fight.
And I don't know if y'all missed the part where he said he put $1 million of his own money.
Oh yeah, I'm serious.
Right. And so we always say invest in yourself. Right. And so he already invested in himself. And now we need everybody else to invest in as well. Right.
Yeah.
So to win this election, it's gonna take money. So we need donations. We need to be creative. We're going to have fundraisers and stuff like that. But we're definitely going to need donations to make sure that we have the money to match up to Rick Scott. Because because we're going to make it past the primary.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it out there. And then we're going to go to the general election. Mm-hmm. And once the general election comes in, it's going to take about...
Oh, believe me.
It's going to take some millions.
He'll put $100 million of his own money.
You probably need about $50 million.
We'll raise about 50 to 75 million because once I win, now Florida's in play because I'm the only person from Florida running.
Wow!
I'm in the primary. I'm running against a person who's not born in here,
mm-hmm.
can't be president. And no, she can't be president. And she's not born here. And so and I'm running against Rick Scott, who's also not from here and really doesn't care about us. And so what winds up happening is he can make all the noise with Mitch McConnell. They're not going to elect him because they don't like him. We don't like him here.
Look, I've been seeing that though.
And so the whole thing is we have a very unique opportunity. We have women's health issues on the ballot, and we have marijuana on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to bring people out to vote. I'm the very first name on the ballot. If you can't remember my name, Stanley Campbell, and you don't come down to the Hyatt tomorrow and see my handsome face, or today to see my handsome face, then I'm the first guy on the ballot. If you forget his name, I'm the first guy on the ballot, Stanley Campbell. So, and you to volunteer for us, just go to StanleyForFlorida.com. That's StanleyForFlorida.com. We take low dollar donors because we know you are the heart of us. They say, well, you don't know how to ask for the money. Well, you know what? When I'm sitting in somebody's house and I know that they are having problems even feeding their family, and I got a governor that refuses to bring the free money for summer school meals to the state without an alternate program. Some of these kids get 50% of their calories from the meals that they get in school. And this guy decides he doesn't want to take the money from the federal government. It's hard for me to ask, but I'm telling you, I'm asking because that $5 donation doesn't just help us. It helps you because when we put those dollars into play and we put your legs into play and you bring 5 other people or 10 other people to the polls, we shouldn't have one car that ain't full of people getting to the polls.
Going to vote.
That's what it's going to take. We got to get excited, believe me. But I think y'all got me excited in here. I ain't had no coffee.
No, listen, I really thank you because I like what you're doing. I love the energy, and I think that more of us need to get involved because when we see ourselves, we people, we do by seeing. And when we see it and then we participate, that get us closer to it ourselves.
No question. You see it, you can be it. I'm telling you, I sat home watching Apollo rockets launch from Miami, Florida. And nobody told me I couldn't do it.
Wow.
And so nobody told me I couldn't do it. Let's just go get to it.
Yeah.
And that's you look at the resume, they say he's a rocket scientist. I'm not no rocket scientist. I did the science of the part of the rocket, but I wasn't doing trajectory and all the rest of that. I did my part.
But that's a big part.
The key is when you see it, you know you can be it. I'm from the hood. I'm telling you, I'd love to get you to that neighborhood. But we got that neighborhood here. We got that neighborhood in Orlando. We have that neighborhood in Jacksonville. We have that neighborhood all over the state.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, your children need to see us doing our thing at the United States Senate.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, it will be a different day in Florida when I get to the Senate.
That powerful.
If you had to leave them with anything, what would you leave the people with?
Great question. Just take a look in the mirror, because that's who you're going to see that's going to make the difference. I can tell you, my two older brothers are not here with us anymore. My oldest brother took a second tour in Vietnam to keep he's an Air Force guy, to keep my Army brother, who is Army infantry, from going to Vietnam. In the second tour, that's when they started Agent Orange, and he lost both lungs. He got a double lung transplant, but COVID took him out. My second oldest brother had died a couple of years previously. And the things that I can tell you that happened in our house to get them to the greatness that they achieved, and to get me to where I am and my other brothers to where they are, is that we look in the mirror and we actually figured out that there is nothing that we could dream of that we can't do or be. And we've got 25 veterans commit suicide every day, but the VFW down in Fort Lauderdale has zero since they've been. Zero suicides. That's because they work together. When we work together, we win. When we work together, we win. So I just thank you all for everything you're doing here, because when I can walk in and listen to you getting the mayor right, getting them to read, reading is fundamental. We got we got to read the contract, and holding people accountable to those coming into our neighborhoods, and holding ourselves accountable. Those are the important things.
Right.
And I can tell you, there's nothing that we can't do. So I thank you all for having me here today. I see these big smiley faces. Man, I got a face for radio, but y'all need to be on TV. y'all need to take this show on TV, because this is what our neighborhood is about.
Yes,
so
thank you, man, because not only letting us know about your campaign, but for the inspiration. You got a real inspirational story, and it's like, thanks for that though, because if you can see it, you can be it.
You really can't. And I don't. Me and Jabbar do a lot of campaigns, right?
Yeah.
And the one thing that I don't get behind anything that I don't believe in.
You do.
Because once I'm in, I'm 100% in, and election time, everybody who know me, that's all I talk about. Yeah. That's it. They be like, my mama hung up on me last night.
Listen, that's why this show started.
We're gonna get your mama on the phone. I'm gonna talk to her right after this segment.
She hung up on me and my brother last night. I'm not talking about it no more, right?
That's when it's better go wrong.
I didn't even read it. Okay, so we have to ask Kiana. We got like about 7 minutes.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Oh, we got 4 minutes. Jam said 40. We have 4 minutes for it. Go ahead, run it.
It look like a lot.
We can run it on Monday.
We can, yes. Monday.
Look, Jam like yes.
No, because this is gonna be hard. This is really good. It's on subject too.
All right, we'll read it anyway.
Okay, I'll just read it. Okay, dear Kiana. My partner recently revealed that he's voting for Trump, despite us always having voted for Democrats. He feels that Democrats aren't doing anything for us. Our debate on this topic has been quite heated, and I'm starting to think he might hold some racist views. Not in an overtly aggressive way, but he makes comments that don't sit well with me. How can I address this? How can I address our political and worldview differences without wrecking our relationship? Sincerely, conflicted and concerned. You only got 3 minutes. You can go.
But now I'm kind of, because I'm trying to see if this is an interracial relationship first.
I swear I said the same thing.
Because he said he started expressing racial views.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Yeah, we're gonna have to handle this on Monday.
It don't matter.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna help you out.
Go,
I'm
look.
gonna turn into Ann Landers here for a minute. So I can tell you that when we look at what Trump represents, you know, he is an entertainer who keeps stuff going. That was yesterday. That was before 5 o'clock yesterday. Now we know he is a person who cannot tell the truth. He could not accept the fundamental elements of our electoral process. He couldn't tell the truth. He was saying that he did not involve himself with a woman while his wife was pregnant. Multiple women. And now today he is a convicted felon. So the system, as much as it bent over for him, it still worked. And so what you got when you look at Trump is the farce is over. Yeah. The witch is dead. The curtain is up, and now he's exposed. He is a felon. And if the state of New York does the right thing, he will not even be able to vote for himself. Wow. So that's the reality. And this is when you go to the substantive part, highest tax rates for rich people. We got none of that. There's no trickle down. It's a trickle on. And when you look at the economy that we have, people with money are making money, and we're still not making any in our neighborhoods. And all he's going to do is double down on that.
And if you listen to Trump, he changed like the wind. Whatever he thinks you want to hear, that's what he's saying. And that doesn't mean that he's gonna do it. It sounds good in some sense when people are saying what he say he's gonna do, but then when you look at what he's actually doing, he's not doing it. And then look how he's switching out on his people. We got a hard stop at 9.
Okay, so it's 8:59.
It's 8:59. Final thoughts.
No, thank you so much.
Don't leave your man. Go. Don't let Trump have you get rid of your man.
Yeah. No.
So go to StanleyForFlorida.com. That's StanleyForFlorida.com. And see what we're doing. Yeah. We and follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and all the other places. So thank you.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Stay tuned for Sister Hughes.
Lose your shoes and shout all around the house.
Right. This has been a great week. We will see y'all this weekend and then catch us on Monday. And this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I am Kiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edmond.
And we're out.